Hello and welcome back to Football Manager 2020 with Africa Sports. In our Building a Nation save, I still haven't worked out how to do this intro properly, have I? Anyway, you know what the series is, we're about 3 or 4 episodes in now. So then, in between episodes, we've played 3 more matches. We have won all 3 of them, and we have managed to get ourselves into a National Cup semi-final against a team who we're not quite sure yet because the other matches haven't taken place. Anyway, we've beaten Isaiah Wazi 3-0, Bakary Kone, Frank Kouakou, and Jean-Frank Bedia with the goals in this one. Against SC Gagnoa, it was Bakary Kone and Frank Kouakou once again, and then Bouake FC, who I think are actually in our league. Yes, they are. We beat them 2-0 not that long ago. We beat them 2-1 this time after extra time. Diallo and Pacoma Zuma. Zuzuma, yes, him, that guy. Zuzua, there's no N. It's Zuzua. I should know his name by now. He's our best player. And those results mean that we are still top of the table. FC San Pedro have started to drop some points. I think they've lost another match, which, yes, they lost against the Army twice, apparently, not even scoring a goal. We have managed to do pretty well, obviously. We are top of the table by 9 points. I think that's how maths works. We're top of the table by 9. We haven't got a lot of fixtures left to play till the end of the season. In fact, in the league, we have 3, 6, 7, 8. We've got 8 matches left in the league. We're 9 points clear at the top. We might be crowned champions come the end of this episode if we win everything. Also, hopefully in this episode, we are going to be getting our youth intake, our golden generation youth intake, which is not going to be very good because we're not a very good side at the moment, but it's a golden generation nonetheless. If we get 1 or 2 reasonably good players, particularly if they're 16, 17 years old and they can walk straight into the first team, that's probably a dream scenario. If we get somebody with like a high potential as well, and by high potential, I mean like a 150 potential, which we're not going to be able to know, we're just going to have to guess. I think Jean-Frank Bedia might have a decent potential as well, so I'm hoping that he can just, the new youth players can supplement the already half-decent youth players with some potential already in the squad. I've just realised I don't have a head of youth development. I very rarely do staff, because I just let them get on with it until we get to a point where I've got money to throw at them. We don't have a head of youth development, we don't have a director of football either, we have one scout who is the chief scout. We probably need to look at investing in this. Maybe that's a job for next year, because apparently our non-existent head of youth development seems to have found some very good young players to join our club. So then, match number 1 of the episode. ASEC Mimosas, the big boys of the Ivory Coast. We've already played them once this season on camera, and we beat them. We are wearing our lovely away kit. I do love that away kit. I also love that ASEC Mimosas kit. I love our home kit. I keep saying this. The kits in the Ivory Coast, at the very least, they're great. I love them. They're brilliant. I want one. Can somebody get me an Africa Sports kit? I imagine going to be very difficult to get hold of. Anyway, let's play Africa Sports. We're Africa Sports. Let's play ASEC Mimosas. I've ballsed all of that up, but we're just going to go with it. So then, we are starting to have a squad. This is basically a squad that I know the players. At least our starting 11, I know the majority of them. It's going to be Gabani in goal, Richard Kouakou, Aka, Botti, and Utara as our back four, with Diarra Suba, Zuzua, and Bedia in the middle. Bakary Kone on the right, Alozi, the Nigerian, on the left-hand side, and Frank Kouakou will be our striker. We are playing in a building site. We are playing in a building site against ASEC Mimosas. I don't really know what's going on. Do they even have any fans? I know we've got one stand, but that means that we've got one stand out of potentially 40,000 people. We might only have about 15,000 here. Last time we played ASEC Mimosas as well, it was a sellout. It was a sellout in our stadium, so this would in theory be a sellout in their stadium. At least we get to see the one solitary stand that the club seems to have. It's Kouakou to Zuzua. He's going to play it back to Piccolo, who is also called Frank Kouakou. Utara to Kouakou once again. Why is he so far back? Bakary Kone's in on goal. Kone forces a save out of Dante. We win ourselves a corner in front of that big breeze block wall by the looks of it. So who's going over to take it? Is Alozi, the Nigerian, with his right foot to Piccolo at the back. It's a header clear. Botti has the ball though. The centre-back can't manage to get the ball forward enough to find one of our players, and the highlight ends. Dante with the goal kick for ASEC Mimosas over the halfway line, but only to one of our players. Kouakou, he's got an option in front. It is Alozi. Zazua's there to his right if he wants to use Alozi. Alozi? It is Alozi. Runs forward with the ball, goes for an extremely long-range effort. It's not the best. I remember now. That's what we were doing. Let's work the ball into the box because you keep having way too many long shots. 25 minutes now, we've got a throw. Diarra Suba, the deep blind playmaker, has the ball forward to Zazua, our best player, who I've actually just given a 4-year deal. I think it's a 4-year deal because it's basically a 3-year deal, but plus the 3 months left of this season. Kouakou plays the ball back to Diarra Suba. Diarra Suba needs an option. He's gone all the way to the right-hand side. Bedia is there, takes a touch, takes another touch, and Jean-Frank Bedia has just put the ball into the back of the net. His 15th goal of the season. 15th. His 5th goal of the season. I was a little bit optimistic with how good he is, but he's doing well. I've put a lot of eggs in that Jean-Frank Bedia-shaped basket, and he's proving me right, you know. Utara's throw to Frank Kouakou, back to Diarra Suba. Utara once again, half an hour on the clock. Zazua forward. Piccolo was offside. He's hit the post. Did he hit the post? I think he did hit the post. He was offside, as I mentioned, so nothing's going to count anyway. Still slowly approaching half-time, but we still have the ball in the ASEC half. Bedia, the goal scorer. Diarra Suba and Bedia passing between them. Now Utara. Utara to Diarra Suba once again. We're trying to break our way through, which I guess is a good thing. We're not just having stupid long shots. Zazua dinks it over. Richie Kouakou's there. He's got 4 in the box if he can find any one of them. It's Alozi. Alozi's effort. It's what's happened here. We almost scored. What's going on? What's going on? What was that for a highlight? We didn't score, but we must have got close. Well, this is a great camera angle, isn't it? Kouakou's throw to Piccolo. Now, Alozi runs down the left. Kouakou's behind him if he wants to use him. He does go backwards to the fullback. Kouakou, the summer signing. Diarra Suba to Bedia, the goal scorer. Now Kone's got... I was going to say he's looking for a runner. He doesn't. He goes for goal himself. I don't know why he did that, because we're supposed to be working the ball into the box team. We are 1-0 up against ASEC Mimosas. FC San Pedro are beating RC Abidjan as well. Is it Abidjan? It's Abidjan. Abidjan. That's where we're from. Literally, our stadium is in Abidjan. I should probably know how to pronounce some of these place names. We're 1-0 up at half-time. Not going to lie, I feel like this episode is going spectacularly well with all my commentary. We've not done any changes at half-time, although Alozi and Kouakou will both be coming off. In fact, Alozi's coming off now because he's on a 6.1. What's he doing? Or not doing, actually? No, you know what we're going to do? We're going to do that. Alozi's then going to come off for Diallo. Diallo is very good. He should play a lot more football. We're then going to do Stevens Coffee coming on for Frank Kouakou. I feel bad for Kone because I often play him out of position in order to make sure Diallo gets games. So Kone's he just gets shuffled around, but he's good enough at football that he should be fine with it. Well, the second half has been marvellous, hasn't it? Very little happening at all. By saying get creative, a lot of my defenders have felt pressured. We've got ourselves a throw. We're only 1-0 up as well. Stevens Coffee, the substitute, plays it across. Bedia controls the ball. He's got no real options. Finds Diallo, the substitute, as well. Takes a few touches. Coffee is there. Stevens Coffee's effort. Stevens Coffee, that is his name, isn't it? Sounds like a shop. Stevens Coffee. Would you like some coffee? Come to Stevens Coffee. I'm now rambling. We've got about 6 minutes to play of normal time. Kone, back to Kouakou. Are we going to get that elusive second goal? Diarra Suba can run. He's got lots of space in the middle. He's probably going to pass it. He does. Bedia, who's looking very tired. Kone on the left. Is he going to try and get past him out or cut inside? Crosses it early. Diallo's there and the substitute hits the top of the bar and it goes over. We're going to do our final substitution. We're going to do Bedia off because he's very, very knackered. We're going to bring on one of the many Kouakus that we have on our side. It's going to be Axel. 5 minutes to play, and potentially an equaliser could be going ASEC's way. They've got the ball. I think he's a fullback who has it. Singone, is he going to get tackled? Come on, buddy. Diallo steals the ball away, and now Stevens Coffee can run forward down the right-hand side. Plenty of checked shirts running. Diallo collects it in the middle, has to score. He doesn't score. Dante makes the save. We get ourselves a corner with about 4 minutes left to play by the time the ball comes in. We can't see a damn thing from this corner. Kone is definitely taking it. I assume there's a football there. It's come in. It's maybe cleared. I don't know. Botti has it. It's still the terrible camera angle. Kone once again. Is he going to get past the steps? He can't get past the steps because he was offside. It's going to be a 1-0 victory against ASEC Mimosas, and I think we kind of got a bit lucky there. But sometimes luck is what you need. The full-time whistle goes. We do win ourselves another 3 points away from home against the big boys of ASEC Mimosas. Jean-Frank Bedia, once again on the score sheet. I'm going to assertively say I'm not happy. Some people listened. That's good. Well, with 7 games left to go, we are still top of the table by 9 whole points ahead of FC San Pedro. Army are still, I guess, in that pack chasing, but I think they're probably a bit too far away. Arguably, you'd say FC San Pedro a bit too far away. We've only lost 1 game all season, So even if we lose like half of what we've got remaining, we're probably still going to win the league. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm thinking we're still going to win the league. Right, we're going to go forward to possibly our youth intake or another match. I'm not quite sure. Well, we are coming back then for another match. It's up against AFAD Djékanou. We're now on the 7th of March and we still don't have our youth intake, which isn't surprising. But we are potentially one game away from winning the league if everything goes our way, which is why we're going to have the AFAD Djékanou game on camera. In between, we played 3 further matches, just 2 in the league. We beat RC Abidjan 2-1, Bakary Kone and Ousmane Diallo with the goals here. We then beat Seoul FC 4-0. There was a hat-trick from Richard Kouakou and Chiexi Alozi scoring the goal. Richard Kouakou's a left-back. He's the left-back. He's a left-back who scored a hat-trick. He did take a penalty because he was on a hat-trick, but he's a left-back who scored a hat-trick. We also managed to get ourselves into an Ivorian Cup final up against Williamsville Athletic Club after beating USC Bassam 2-0. Frank Kouakou and Axel Kouakou with the goals in this one. We have had a little bit of an injury problem, and by injury, I mean everyone's got a cold. We've literally lost half of our team to various illnesses like that. I'm hoping we're over the worst of it. We're going to go forward. We're going to play AFAD Djékanou in just a moment. And then we're going to stick around until probably the 14th of March. That's what month it is. I nearly said September. Stick around to the 14th of March and hopefully we will get our Golden Generation youth intake also in this episode. So then, the starting lineup is going to be Gabani in goal, Richard Kouakou, the hat-trick hero, as the left-back, Kouyaté, Aka and Utara as our back four today. Kouyaté is our young central defender. He's 21 years old. He needs to play a lot more football, but he is constantly injured. I mean, all the time. He is injured constantly. He's only played 5 league games for us. He should be playing a lot more. It's going to be the majority of the usual midfield. Diarra Suba and Bedia are always going to be there, but Axel Kouakou will be playing as the ball-winning midfielder, the box-to-box midfielder, on the left-hand side. It's going to be Aloze and Kone and Kouakou as our strikers. Zazua is one of the players who has a virus, so he's not going to be able to play today. Now, I think we can win the league. I'm not 100% certain if we can win the league, but I think we can win the league in this match. If we win and San Pedro lose, I think it's too much of a gap for them to close down. Gabane with the goal kick to Aka, who has only got a few games left to play for us. Utara can run forward with the ball, plays it across into the middle. It's Axel Kouakou. Now Alozi. Richard Kouakou's making a run. Alozi's going it alone. He's gone for a long-range effort, and the Nigerian's effort is wide off the far post. Still 0-0. I don't think we can win the league. I don't think we can win the league. Even if we win this game, we'll go on to 57 points. FC San Pedro will be on 47. So there'll be 10 points between us with 5 games to go. We can't win the league. I don't know what I'm talking about. 25 minutes on the clock. Alozi has the ball to Axel Kouakou. Alozi once again. He's coming into the middle of the pitch past the referee. He's got some runners in front of him. I think Bedi is one of them. Kone is another one. Kone runs in on goal. He tries to chip it into the top corner, but Ndri easily holds on to that one. We have a corner instead. Alozi takes it back post. It's no one. There was nobody there. Nobody there at all. Ndri comes out, easily claims the ball. So then, the AFAD Djékanou goalkeeper does a long kick upfield. Agbo has managed to somehow get past 4 of our defenders. Utara has just been mugged off completely there. Agbo in on goal, tries to cross it in back post. We're 1-0 down. Fabrice Zehi has scored for AFAD Djékanou. We are 1-0 down against... What is going on? I mean, Utara has just been absolutely mugged off there by Agbo. What is happening here? These are one of the worst performing teams in the league. They were 13th out of 14, and now they're winning. We are the champions elect, and we are doing absolutely garbage at the moment. Let's give them a show some passion. It's gone all the way through, though, to half-time. We're 1-0 down. We are giving them an angry. Where is your passion, lads? Fired up enough people. I mean, the average rating of our squad is probably a 6.6 at best. It's probably nearer a 6.5. No changes at the break. Alozi's free kick early on in the second half. Kone's headed effort goes over the bar. Still 1-0 to AFAD Djékanou. We need to go attacking. We need to get creative. We need to do something. Utara to Kone. He's got some runners. Utara is the fullback though to get the ball back. Diarra Suba. Utara's continuing his run. Kone, who's dropped very deep for an attacking winger. He's going to go for a goal from a long way out. He's hit it well wide. We're going to lose this game. We're going to lose our second game of the season against a team who aren't performing very well at all. Guerra with the free kick for Djékanou. Gabene comes out. They've hit the post. They have hit the post. Gabane came out, fisted the ball clear, and actually didn't touch the ball very far at all. We are lucky to still just be 1-0 down. Utara gets the ball from Aka. Bedia, the youngster, finds Axel Kawaku in the middle. Towards the right-hand side is Utara. Can he whip the cross in? He's gone for a right-footed cross. It's Frank. Kawaku was there. Kawaku once again. Diarra Suba. We've got loads and loads of numbers forward. We're just not managing to break through the defence. Alozi's there on the volley. And Chiekzi Alozi makes it 1-1. What a finish that was from the Nigerian. That kind of came out of nowhere. And I'm okay with that. We're back in this game. We are back in the hunt for the title. I don't know what's happening at San Pedro. I think they're winning their game. Bakary Kone's on a 6.2. That's not good. Zaidi is going to come on. Wilfred Zaidi is this young lad, by the way. He has played one game for us so far coming off the bench. He's not the best, but he's what we're going to have to deal with. We're also going to do Kawaku off for Vieira Traore, because Vieira Traore might be able to score a goal. 24 shots we've had. We've had 25 shots now, okay? And we are drawing 1-1 with a team who I think are now probably down in 13th place. Utara has the ball for us, plays it back to Aka. Is Aka going to go long or is he going to go backwards? He goes forward to Bedia. He plays the ball across left-hand side to Alozi, the goal scorer for Africa Sports. Runs into the penalty area. It's a tackle? Is it a tackle? It's a penalty. We've somehow managed to steal a penalty here. Who is taking it? Who are you? You are Alozi. Alozi, the man who won the penalty. Can he get his second of the game? Put us in front against Djékanou away from home. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Alozi versus Ndri. He steps up just about, squeezes it underneath the goalkeeper. We are in front, and we really don't deserve to be in front. We haven't been very good in this game, and we're still going to hopefully come away with the 3 points. There is a highlight straight after the goal, though. We've got 12 minutes. Bakayoko for Djékanou forward towards the right-hand side. Kawaku heads down for us, though. But AFAD Djékanou keep hold of the ball. Etienne backwards to Bakayoko, the central defender, and all the way back to Ndri in the Djékanou goal. I don't know whether they should be called Djékanou or AFAD or AFAD. I don't know. I'm going to stick with Djékanou. Utara can run down the right. He loves to get forward. Both of our fullbacks love to get forward, don't they? He keeps going on the right, stops, holds up play, back to Diarra Suba with lots of space. This is where we want a nice long ball from Diarra Suba. Instead, it's to Kawaku. Now Utara has it once again on the right-hand side, into Bedia. Bedia plays it across. Alozi on the volley. What is the goalkeeper doing? Alozi's just basically scored the same goal that he scored earlier. Finishes his hat-trick, his 14th goal of the season. Jean-Frank Bedia as well with the assist. This has to be 3 more points for us. 9 minutes left to play, and is there going to be a 4th goal going our way? Utara has the ball on the right. 3 in the middle. Plays it backwards. Bedia manages to get it. Kawaku, long-range effort, hits the first man. Can he have another go? He's managed to find his namesake, Richie Kawaku, who's picked up a yellow card. Now it's Alozi, number 4 for the season, or for the game, sorry, potentially. Bedia on the volley, and Jean-Frank Bedia's done it again. He seems to love scoring goals on camera, doesn't he? His 6th of the season. The 17-year-old, I believe he's 17, he might still be 16, has his 6th, has our 4th for the match as well. That has got to be 3 more points in the bag. Right, we're just going to do some time wasting. We're going to bring Mayeri on, because Mayeri's a decent right back. Although Utara has kind of made that position his own, Mayeri's still not bad. Etienne's with the ball. Upfield by Djékanou, but we have stolen it away. Diarra Suba finds Richie Kawaku on the left. Are we going to make it 5? We were so bad in the first half. If we can turn this around, that is going to be another yellow card, isn't it? Pretty sure you're already booked. You are already booked. Junior Avo has managed to pick up a 2nd yellow card. They're down to 10. They're also 4-1 down. The full-time whistle was just seconds away. It is 3 more points in the bag, and that half-time team talk was certainly needed. Absolutely needed. Jean-Frank Bedia as well, scoring a goal and getting 2 assists. And then obviously Alozi picking up a hat-trick and the man of the match award as well. Decent second half performance from the team. San Pedro then won their game at 2-0 against Sol FC, the team who are currently sat bottom of the table with 1 victory against AS Tanda. There you go. I don't know whether they're relegated or not technically yet, because there's so little matches in the league. They might still be able to climb their way out of that. I'm not quite sure. We are currently top of the table by 9 whole points with 4 games left to play. It's just 4 games, isn't it? We've got, yes, so USC Bassam. We've then got those guys who I'm never going to be able to pronounce their name. ASI. We've got San Pedro and AS Tanda. So, assuming we do well against Bassam, irrelevant of what happens elsewhere, we could become champions. So, next episode, we're going to be playing USC Bassam. Whatever happens, we might be playing ASI, we might then be playing FC San Pedro. Basically, I want to play until we win the league. We've also got a cup final to worry about. Maybe 2 cup finals. So that might be an additional episode. We're going to go forward before we end this one, though, until about the 13th of March, and hopefully we get our youth intake as well before this episode finishes. It's here. The youth intake has arrived, our golden generation. And I've already seen the list of players, and we've got 1 4-star potential ability player. It's not the best for a golden generation, but it might be alright. So there it is then. That is our youth intake, and yeah, it's not good. I'm not going to go through every player. Let's take a look at Dominic Traore, Kualamalan, maybe. He's alright, isn't he? He's mentally, he's there. Mentally, he's got some certainly good numbers. That's pretty good. Physically as well, he's got some decent numbers also. He is only 16, 4-star potential ability. He might be alright. He's probably not going to be a world beater. Thierry Traore is next up. The 16-year-old left winger is fast, and that is all. Youssef Kone is next up. The 16-year-old right back is rubbish. There's nothing there, is there? There's nothing there at all. Another winger who all he is fast. He's got 11 technique, but he's also got 1s in pretty much half of his technical skills. It's not good. This one's interesting. This one is interesting. David Utara, the 17-year-old, who he's definitely got something about him. Physically, he's got some reasonable stats. The 17 determination stands out to me, along with the 13 teamwork. He can also finish and has a bit of technique. He's got 5 composure and 1 concentration, which could be a problem, but he might be alright. Apparently, Mohamed Kouame is currently 1.5-star and potentially 3-star. I don't see it. If I'm honest. He's just fast. He's just really fast, and that's it. Guess what? We've got another fast winger, Ousmane Kofi. All he is fast. Yeah, we're definitely getting into the dregs now. Willie Kouassi-Nguesson he's just angry, actually. He's naturally fit and very angry. That's all he's got. So the goalkeeper that's come through only has 2-star potential ability, but I don't think he's all that bad. Yes, he's not amazing. He's not going to be in the Ivory Coast squad by all means, but I don't think he's as bad as the 1 potentially 2-star current ability, or potential ability, sorry, is. So he might be one to keep an eye on, but I can't imagine he's going to be better than Christian Drogba. Yeah, so that's our youth intake, our golden generation. It's garbage, isn't it? It's garbage. It's a garbage golden generation. I'm so glad I got really excited about this. I was expecting to see Didier Drogba and Yaya Toure in my youth intake. No, we get Thierry Traore, who is rubbish. They're just fast. We've just got loads of fast players. That is going to do it then for this episode. Next episode is probably going to be a bit of a weird one. We're going to play USC Bassam on camera, and assuming we do well in that and we technically win the league, that's probably the end of the league action. We then might play WAC in the Ivorian League Cup final. We've also got a National Cup semi-final to play, so we might play a final as well. We might have 2 more episodes left of this season, sorry. So yeah, join in next episode, where we might win ourselves the league and maybe a cup competition as well. Thank you very much for watching this episode. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. If you are new here and you want to see more of the Africa Sports story, do hit the subscribe button as well. I will see you in the next episode, where we're going to become champions of the Ivory Coast.